Imagine yourself being a parent. You have 4 beautiful children whom you love and adore. You have 2 girls and 2 boys, ages 8, 6, 4, and 1.5. Now imagine that tragedy strikes and all 4 of your babies are gone. That's what happened to Amber Smith and Riley Noble on July 28th. A flood claimed the lives of their children. Madison Noble, age 8, Riley Noble, age 6, Neve Noble, age 4, and Chance Noble, age 1.5, were swept away in a Kentucky flood.
Today, first to Knott County. 1 person is confirmed to have died there, and several others are still unaccounted for. Rescue efforts are still underway after continuing through the night. In Hindman, entire homes were swept off their foundation and pushed downstream. Multiple water lines have burst in Hindman. The city government is suffering major losses, and restoration efforts have been hindered by the flood. Downtown Hindman, as you can see, also saw devastating damage. Floodwaters knocked out windows and washed out many businesses entirely. Certainly just sad to see that in several downtowns this afternoon.
Moments ago, we heard from Governor Beshear. He gave us an update on the response to the flooding. He says the death toll is now up to 16 people killed by flooding. The governor says children are among the dead. 11 of the deaths are in Knott County. He says it is hard to know how many more people are missing. This morning, President Biden approved a disaster declaration for Kentucky that will open up more federal assistance for flood relief.
Right now, we're making plans to airlift water to certain areas that might not be reachable for a period of time. So think about the danger that could be out there for people who are trying to get there.
Search and rescue operations, though, are still ongoing today in these communities. The Perry County Sheriff's saying today that sheriffs from other counties are sending deputies to this area to help them with recovery efforts and also just to continue to monitor and patrol the streets here.
Devastation in Letcher County. Search and rescue teams from across the region are working to find people trapped by the high water. Parts of the county are unreachable due to the amount of flooding, and residents are struggling just to process what has happened. Now, we were unable to get to Whitesburg today, but the North Fork of the Kentucky River is at a record level there. Jenkins is underwater, Whitesburg is underwater, just a lot of devastation in Letcher County. And Governor Andy Beshear said today that anyone in the area missing loved ones should not call 911, but call your local Kentucky State Police post.
Hello. You know me as Goose. My real name is David Gooseland, and I was born in Hyman, Kentucky, located in southeastern Kentucky. Recently, tragedy struck several counties in southeastern Kentucky. In my adult life, I've never saw a storm as bad as this one. My hometown, Hyman, was completely washed away. I saw friends lose loved ones, homes, cars, and family heirlooms. I've seen the best in people the last few days, and I've also saw the worst in some people. Dirty Dan and Rebecca will return next week, and in just a minute or so, I'll continue the heartbreaking story that I opened up with. Episode 91 is a special episode of Here to Chew Bubblegum. My name is David, and I'm proud to be from Knott County, Kentucky. I'll be back in just a moment.
From yesterday, July 27th to today, July 28th, about a foot of rain was dumped all over eastern Kentucky, causing catastrophic flooding throughout the entire area.
People are devastated. People are missing. People are still being rescued. People's houses and homes are completely washed away.
This is our city lot. We have our excavators, our trucks, backhoes, graders, lawnmowers, and in the bottom basement here of this building here is our water sewer department. And it appears that everything here has been destroyed.
Please keep the people in eastern Kentucky in your thoughts and prayers.
Brittany Trejo said that her 4 young cousins, ranging in age from 1.5 to 8, were swept away from their parents' grip in the deadly Kentucky flood that occurred Thursday, July 28th. By 12:30 p.m. on Friday, the bodies of all 4 children had been recovered from the Knott County community of Montgomery. Trejo said the home of Amber Smith and Riley Noble in the Montgomery community filled with water Thursday. As of last night, the death toll for all affected counties stands at 25, with predictions that number will increase. Trejo says they got on the roof and the entire underneath washed away with them and their children. They managed to grab onto a tree and held on to their precious children a few hours before a big tide came and washed them all away at the same time. The mother and father were stranded in a tree for over 8 hours before anyone got there to help. Amber Smith and Riley Noble, the mother and father, were found alive. The bodies of the 4 children were recovered Friday morning. A GoFundMe account was set up to help pay for funerals and burial expenses. And as of noon yesterday, the goal was met and surpassed. Before the goal was met, with help from national news stations like Fox and the Weather Channel getting the word out on the tragic situation, a priest came forward, contacted the family, and paid for the funerals and burial expenses for the 4 kids. If you can, I still encourage you to support this family by either sharing the story, sending them positive thoughts, love, and prayers, or you can make a donation at GoFundMe.me/2F86B7B7. Again, GoFundMe.me/2F86B7B7. With first responders and medical personnel aiding any way that they are needed, officials with the Appalachia Regional Healthcare said on Friday that 61 employees in southeast Kentucky have lost everything, many including their homes. They also said that over 30 employees are unaccounted for. They're hoping that this is just a communication breakdown and that they can't get in touch. An estimated 31,000 people are without power. As we mentioned a few moments ago, communication was and still is down or spotty in a lot of areas in southeastern Kentucky. Landlines and cell phone towers were down and left a large portion of the area without any form of communication. If you had AT&T cell phone service, you were lucky enough to get Facebook. Facebook really helped in this tragic situation with communication, news alerts, requests for water rescues, and asking others if they'd seen loved ones. I woke up around 3 a.m. on this past Thursday. I saw a Facebook message from a friend. When I checked it, I noticed that my mom was active. Now, this is out of character for my mom because she usually goes to bed really early. So I opened up Facebook and started seeing pictures of my hometown and the tragic flood. I saw a post of a girl that I went to grade school with. The post said, "Can someone please help my mom? It's in her house. Need a boat. Please pray. It's around her bed and I can't get to her." A little time had passed and she posted again, "Someone please, I beg you, get a boat. My mom is trapped and it's almost to the roof." Sadly, a boat never came for her mom, and her mom's house was completely washed away. After I saw that post from my childhood friend, I called to check on my mom, and I did get in touch with my mom. And I'm going to go ahead and try to call my mom right now. I talked to her yesterday. Her service was spotty, so we may get in touch with her. We may not, but we will see.
The call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
I'll leave her a message.
is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Mom, it's me, your favorite son. I'm recording a special episode of the show dedicated entirely to the flood and how people can help and making people aware. I was just talking about you on the show, and I just wanted to give you a call and tell you that I love you very much. And if you need anything, please call or text me today. Have a great day. Love you. Bye. Again, tragic situation, here. And I don't normally agree with social media, and especially Facebook, with some of their restrictions and so forth and putting people in Facebook jail. It really came through and helping people communicate during this tragedy. Now, also, people did make some inappropriate comments and jokes. I'm not going to give their name, but I want to read one comment. Now, keep in mind, we have no power. We have no cell phone service. We have no landline service. Everything is out. If you didn't have AT&T in our area, you wouldn't have service. We have a local company called Appalachia Wireless, and they're a good company. But somebody posted on Facebook, "I'm sorry, but TVS cable should be up and running by now. It's a vital service. We pay for internet, etc. Shabby business." This was one day after this flood. One day after this flood, that this person got on Facebook and blasted this local company whose entire service fleet was destroyed. Their work trucks with their equipment, their tools, it was all destroyed. And they're getting on social media and blasting this hometown company that does a lot for the community. They support sports teams, they contribute, they do a lot. And you're getting on there and blasting them. Well, my childhood friend's mother perished in this. You're getting on there and blasting them after these 4 precious children were swept out of their parents' arms, and you're blasting them that they should have internet service up. So people started commenting on this Facebook post that they said the TV and internet place was underwater. They are trying to dry everything out and will get it back on as soon as possible. Wow. Another person commented, "Are you serious?" And this person responded, "Yes, I am serious." So the response back was, "People lost everything, including lives. It's apparent you should have some form of entertainment while others have nothing. I hope you enjoy watching your shows. Shame on you." When I saw that Facebook post, that blew me away. I was shocked. It pissed me off, I'll be honest with you. But in the face of tragedy, we overcome stuff. And there was a mother that posted a picture of her daughter. Her daughter's house was completely flooded. And the mother wrote, "My daughter is safe and whole tonight. She saved her dog by putting it in a plastic container that would float and then swam with her dog to the neighbor's rooftop. She waited for hours until she could be rescued. She is a hero. I love you. You are simply amazing. Thank you," to a man. "Words cannot express enough. We lost everything today. Everything except what matters most." When tragedy strikes, that's what you need to think about. You need to think about positive stuff. And we do have a lot of positive stuff happening in Eastern Kentucky. Bo's Barbershop in Elkhorn City and Pike County posted, "If you or any men you know that has been affected by the flood would like a free haircut, neck shave, beard trim, Wednesday, August 3rd, give me a holler. Get away from the stress for a few minutes and make yourself feel a little bit better. free haircuts to the first 16 people who have been affected by the flood only. You had a guy that owns heavy equipment, and he said, guys, be sure to holler at us at Bailey's Tree Service. We will help rescue anyone that needs it. We have small boats, canoes, kayaks, etc. Miles of rope, bucket trucks. We will be willing to help any way we can. This is for people in need. Don't take advantage of this in this awful situation. We have people on Facebook stating, we have a boat. We can help rescue if anyone knows anybody needing rescued. Chris Hall came, and he's from Perry County. He came to Hazard. He came back home and organized an event that is still going on as we speak. It's set up at the old Hazard Flea Market. And he posted on Facebook, food is ready at the Hazard Flea Market. Hamburgers, hot dogs, pulled pork. You name it, come get it. Completely free of charge. And you have all kinds of stories like this throughout Southeast Kentucky. You have schools set up that have opened up as shelters, that are giving away clothing, that are giving away 3 free meals a day, that are letting people shower. You've had the company Lowe's bring a semi in with showers, and people are getting to shower. You have people set up beside the road, grilling and barbecuing and giving this stuff out to people in need. It goes on and on. It is heartwarming. Don't forget about your fur babies. We had a shop in Hyman, Critter Cuts. The shop will be closed tomorrow. If anyone needs me to keep their pet or pets that are found, let me know. Let's all pray for Eastern Kentucky. You have people that are going out and delivering supplies to people that need it. And you also have people that are going out and delivering animal food. Stop and think before you make an inappropriate joke or you post something negative on Facebook, especially about mom and pop companies. They do the best that they can. When you see hateful comments or inappropriate stuff, I don't know about you, but that made me mad. You also see some people looting, which is uncalled for. You've had families whose loved ones have died. They've lost their homes. They've lost everything. And you're going to loot what they have left. Perry County and Letcher counties have put curfews in place, and they have cited and arrested looters over the last few days. Southeastern Kentucky has some of the best first responders ever. And I was lucky enough earlier to interview Nick Fleming. He is a firefighter, EMT with the Pikeville Fire Department, and he is also the Public Information Officer. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. And thank you for that introduction. Like he said, I am a firefighter EMT, also public information officer with Pikeville Fire Department. I've been with them for a little over 10 years now, and yeah, it's a great job. I love what I do, and I love being able to help the community, and I appreciate you bringing me on your show.
Well, thank you very much for being here. Now, you grew up in Letcher County, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, is your family and friends and loved ones in Letcher County, are they okay after the devastating flood?
Yes, sir. I did check in with them, and they actually were relatively lucky. Most of the damage for them was just the surrounding area around them, but none of I think my brother said his basement did get some water in it, but nothing major. They were all able to stay at their homes, so they were very lucky. My mom actually moved into Virginia, so and I know they were affected as well, but she moved to a location that didn't get affected. So,
good.
So yeah, my family was definitely lucky on that aspect. But
now, when this happened, the Thursday morning when you woke up, or if you were already at work, what did you do? How did you find out about everything that had happened and transpired?
Well, we'll back up to that night where they were given the flood warnings and flood advisories. And I was actually, this week I was on vacation. And, of course, that's kind of what happens when you go on vacation is this stuff tends to happen. But like I said earlier, we're kind of always on call. So if we get anything, we just got to come out to it. I know that it was already had been raining quite a bit that week. And it started raining that night. I think around midnight, we started getting some heavy storms coming in. And So, I went to bed, kind of not able to rest too much because I knew, it was only a matter of time before something was going to happen. We was going to get called out. But we ended up getting an all page. Our fire department does active 911, so it pages us out over our phone. So we got the first page at 5:30 requesting all of our swift water team technicians. We have several of our members on the department that are specialty trained in swift water. I happen to be one of those members. And if we have any water events or flooding or rescues to that nature, they will call us out specifically. Went ahead and started gathering my stuff up and heading that way. We got another all page at 6:30, just asking anybody to come in because it was getting to the point where they knew they was going to need help, and we had been requested to go help in Letcher County. So it's pretty well how it all began, and how the call out process works.
And that, again, is your home county. Or do you have an estimated guess of how many people that you guys did rescue from water rescue?
For us, now we were split up into two different teams, so I couldn't give you an exact number, but I do know a lot of this was just going house to house in particular locations that we were assigned to and checking on the specific house, seeing if there was anybody in there, seeing if anybody needed help. We ended up, as far as I know, at least, half a dozen families we were able to get to a safe location. And again, this was just one day that we were down there. Now, I will say we spent half of the evening, probably 7 hours, evacuating the Letcher Manor nursing home because it had to be evacuated because it was near the floodwaters, and those patients all had to be transported out. So we stayed there along with other departments and helped evacuate them. So
once they were transported from the manor to, I guess, a safe location, were they then bussed away to somewhere else, or?
Well, it's tricky because, and of course, there were a lot of other things going on at the same time. But, the patients that could walk, we kind of worked with a triage system. So with the nursing home, we just kind of triaged them. So if the patients could walk, we would put them on a bus. A lot of them couldn't set up on their own, so we had to make special considerations for them. So we used Sandy Valley buses and school buses, and a lot of them had to go by ambulance because they could only lay down, and they had to have special considerations like oxygen and things for them to transport. We did use Floyd County's Ambu bus, is what it's called, where it's for mass casualty or just large special events like this where you have to transport a lot of people at one time. And we used that and transported, I think 11 or 12 at once with that one to Hazard. So.
Now, you've been with Pikeville 10 years. In your 10 years, have you ever seen anything this big?
Flood-wise, no. No, this is the worst flooding event I've ever worked. And with it being my home county, of course, I grew up in that location, and I've never seen it that bad. And it just was really heartbreaking because, like I said, I grew up there, and I remember what it was like as a kid, and my whole family lives down there, so I know it's going to be a long time for them to get back to normal. They're going to have to rebuild, So,
have you saw anything firsthand that later, when you're able to go back and think about it, that defines true compassion and for overcoming tragedy? Like just the average person do something. Have you saw or experienced anything like that?
Of course, yeah. Well, as we're trying to make our way on foot, because, our boat can get some places, but it's just, as far as the debris field, it was just so bad we couldn't use our boat on a lot of the stuff, so we had to walk on foot. But as we're walking up these devastated areas, we're seeing everybody, every single person, neighbors, helping neighbors, random people pulling out their their equipment and their saws and you got to understand that the roads are impassable. Some roads were non-existent at that point, but there were trees down, there were mudslides, there was no, and they knew the best way they could help was to get that roadway clear so that help could get in there. So yeah, we seen, several dozen just people just out doing what they knew they had to do and helping neighbors with whatever they could do, whether that be provide. We did see one household that was just trying to provide internet for people so they could, and they were advertising it. They had signs up like walking down, trying to let neighbors know, that way they could let their family know that they were safe, because there was no communication. The cell towers were down. There was no landline. And I think they had satellite internet is the only reason they had internet. So, but yeah, we see a lot of cases. We've seen a lot of cases like that, and it was very heartwarming for sure.
And it's situations like this that we see that brings out the goodness in people in our area that we already know is there. But, I've read all kinds of stories that, you've got businesses giving away food. It just goes on and on and on. For anybody in our international audience that wants to help, how would you advise them to do that?
Yeah, for anybody that wants to help, there's, of course, on an international level, sending supplies and things is kind of difficult. That's what we're doing locally is getting supplies gathered, safe haven locations, places where people can stay, places where people can, just catch their breath for a moment. But on an international level, just thoughts and prayers. I'm sure there's GoFundMe's out there that people are taking up money and things. I'm not going to say that wouldn't help, but yeah, just thoughts and prayers more or less, and just stay up to date with the story. I mean, one thing you'll notice about Appalachian people and just the people as a whole is that we're very hardy. We can take a lot and we can make it through and survive. So, and history has proven that. So, we're going to be all right. And, just everybody banding together and making the rebuild process and the healing process go a little bit quicker, it's what it's all about. And, we always welcome any help with that. So
now locally, we do have a lot of listeners locally. If anybody does want to donate, can you walk us through how to do that, or, what items are needed most at this time?
Sure. Yeah. For our local audience, I know here at Pikeville Fire Station 1 on Chloe, that's the one next to the Appalachian Wireless Arena. They Jones Oils is going to put a humongous tractor trailer out there for cleaning supplies, non-perishable food items, water, just anything that will help clean this up and keep people. I know, like even diapers, things for children, clothes, even that's all welcome. If you want to drop that off again at Station 1, there's going to be a big trailer. I know the Dream Center is doing, they're doing more of the handing out food and helping to go work with, feeding the people that are displaced and need a place to get some food. And I know they're doing signups for that. So you're welcome to get in touch with them for that. But just about, like you said, just about everybody in the area is trying to help in some form or fashion. So there's no shortage of that. So, well, again, thank you very much for your time, for coming on the show. I know that this has been a busy past 4 days for you. Is there anything that you want to say before we close out the interview? Absolutely. Well, I just want to thank you for your time. And, this is my absolutely first podcast. So it's exciting. And, just invite me back anytime. I appreciate it. Oh, well, we will definitely have you back on. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. You stay safe and God bless you.
From the heart of Appalachia, located under a shopping mall near the city that moves mountains, you're listening to Here To Chew Bubblegum with Goose and Dirty Dan. On Thursday, July 28th, 2022, a lot of families in southeastern Kentucky woke up to flood, devastation, and despair. Hello, everyone. I'm Goose from Here To Chew Bubblegum, and I'm proud to say that I'm from Eastern Kentucky,
Our area has experienced some of the worst flooding that we have ever saw. In just 2 hours, 8 to 12 inches of rain fell, leaving many families homeless. They lost their homes, property, family heirlooms, and quite a few have lost their lives. You can help and support people in Eastern Kentucky get back on their feet. All you have to do is go to teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. Again, you can go to teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. You can make a donation. If you live locally, please get in touch with someone in your community to find out how you can help. Thank you very much. God bless.
Good evening. From the basement of their haunted mansion, here with a lighter look into the darker side of the world, the Spooky Family. Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle. Take it away!
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening, guys. This is Elliot with the Spooky Family Podcast, and yeah, we know the Summer of Sam has maybe fizzled out. Not really. So what's happening is, just like always, life has decided to throw a couple curveballs our way. Not even brand new. Like, we knew there might be days coming when we were all three busy, but nothing like we have experienced in the last couple weeks. So Spooky Family Podcast is going through a little bit of a change. We are going from a weekly podcast, and I know we've not been really weekly in a while, to twice a month. And we're hoping that maybe with a little bit of leeway there, we'll be able to record a little bit more, produce a little bit more. We're hoping anyway. We're not going away. We are going to have to take a short little hiatus until everything gets back under control. Luckily, knock on wood, no serious issues. Just a lot of work. We're just staying completely busy. It's our jobs. I mean, we don't do the podcast to make money. We've not made a dime. We just did it for fun, and we're doing it for fun. But the problem is sometimes, our real life jobs get in the way. Our real life problems get in the way. And we're kind of at that point right now, but we're trying to do our best to make everything possible. And like I said, I think with this new 2 episodes a month plan, we may have something going on. Please stick with us. We don't want to leave. We love this. So we're going to try to make the best of it and try to do what we can and what fits our schedules best. Gertie is working 6 days off one, then 6 more days, then off one. I'm working, gosh, it feels like 7 days a week, and I've got new responsibilities at my job, so that's taking up a lot of time, and then the same with Beagle. And it's we're getting back into that whole COVID crisis again. It's hard to get together and do this in person, but we're trying our best. Stick with us, though. I promise we're good. We will be at the Pikeville Toy Comic Convention on August the 20th, so make sure you come and check us out. We'll have some awesome stickers and some other stuff for sale, and just maybe, we just want to get out and meet everybody. Hopefully we'll see a bunch of our podcasting brothers over there, brothers and sisters, and we hope everything's good there. Just to finish off, if you're the praying sort, please pray for Miss Tanya Darrenberger. She's not feeling real well, and she called today and checked on us, and we just want to send our love out to her, and we hope she's feeling great. pray for my little community of Floyd County. I don't know how many people listen know Floyd County, but we recently had 3 police officers and a police dog killed in cold blood, ambushed, and it's really shaking our community. It's really shaking our little towns, and a lot of good people feeling a lot of pain off that. So please, if you're out there, remember us on that. Big shout outs to our law enforcement and our first responders. I know there are issues around the world, but I can honestly tell you Eastern Kentucky, especially my little county, has the best first responders in the world. I'll stand by that. I'll die on that hill. With that being said, guys, thank you so much once again for everything you do, for listening to us, for getting all the word out. Yeah, it's a rough time right now, but the Spooky family is here. We love you guys. Please write in, let us know how you're doing. Let us get caught up with you all, and hopefully we'll be able to continue the Summer of Sam, and maybe 1 week from today, and we'll start our new schedule 1 week from today. So guys, thank you all so much. It's been stick with us. I can't apologize enough. I know we're going back on our Summer of Sam schedule, but guys, listen, sometimes life throws you a curveball and you got to swing, and sometimes you hit it, sometimes you miss it. So we've missed a couple lately, but we're getting back up to bat. So all right, guys, thanks so much, and bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard a very special announcement from the Spooky family that Elliot brought to us. With me now is Elliot. Elliot, welcome to Here to Chew Bubblegum special show, episode 91.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it, man. Listen, it's always good to come home, and that's what I consider Here to Chew Bubblegum. It's home.
Well, yes, you are home, and thank you very much for being here. Now, before we go any further, when I listened to that special announcement, because I love your guys' show, and I was a couple of shows behind, and I'm still a couple of shows behind, but
we are too. So,
towards the end of that announcement, you were talking about how stuff had affected our region, and I could, and I know you personally, and your real name's Bobby, and because this is a special episode of Here to Chew Bubblegum, I could tell that you were getting emotional in that announcement towards the end. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, absolutely. Listen, this, a lot of people use hillbilly as a derogatory term. And to me, that is a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Like, we live in an area that we've all got each other's backs. We're here to help whenever we can. But lately it just seems like, gosh, we just pour it out. It's coming harder and harder and faster, and I just hate to see this area affected that way.
And for those of you that don't know, Elliot, also known as or Bobby, also known as Elliot, is a...
Listen, you can call me Bobby. That genie's out of the bottle a long time ago. When the people know me now, they know what I'm doing. Guys, I work for a school system. Like there's no hiding anymore. We for a long time we thought that maybe we should keep it up, but once some locals figure it out, it's downhill from there for the secret identity. So, and
you are a commissioner.
I am. For the little city over in Floyd County.
Yes. Yeah. And, first of all, thank you for your service as a public servant. We need more people like you that are good people, that have good intentions to get into politics. I
absolutely appreciate those words. Thank you very much.
I mean, and those are straight from the heart. During this flooding, what have you done or your city done? Well, first, did you guys suffer any major damage?
We had a veterans monument that was we had put up in November 2011, right around Veterans Day, just to honor all the people from Wheelwright, which is the city I live in. And again, no need to sugarcoat anything or go around anything. We'd put up a monument to honor them, and there was a massive landslide. It took out part of that monument. We've got roads wiped out completely. We've got bridges wiped out. We've got, it got into some of our citizens' houses. Drainage systems have been stopped up. Our citizens were without power, water, cell phone service, landline, internet, any of that for up to 24 hours. Like I said before, I've lived here 43 years. I've lived in this city 43 years. I've never seen it this bad. And luckily, we didn't have any loss of life. We didn't have any major damage to homes, wiped out like we've seen in our area. But it's not something I've ever seen before, even as bad as it is right now.
How is the recovery efforts in your city going so far?
It's going great. Once again, I go back to that neighbors watch neighbors, with help from, we've had churches, county judge executives have been up here. We've had the National Guard. Our school system has went above and beyond. They've opened up schools as shelters, as places to go take showers, if you need a place to stay, all kinds of things. The outpouring of help has been amazing. Just regular people, going around, scraping sidewalks, doing what needs to be done, offering free meals, free places to stay, places to shower. It's the best of us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You see it come out.
Now, I do know when everything happened. Was born in Hyman, as I said earlier in the show. I reached out to some friends of mine in law enforcement in Knott County, and it was several hours before they got back to me because communications from the hazard post, which services Knott County,
right? Like
you said, power, landlines, cell phone lines, everything was down. And a lot of these first responders had no communication with each other, with headquarters, with their sheriff's offices, ambulance service. They had none. And did you guys experience anything like that?
We're a small city. We have one little, local cop. I won't say little. We have one local cop. So in one fire department. So it was easier for us to make sure. I know I was out that morning on my way to work. Like I said, I work a regular job too. But the city cop was already out. Our magistrate, we have one of the best magistrates in the area. He was already out. So it was more word to passing the word on to each other and hey, they need help here. Hey, they need help here. Hey, we need to go here. But yeah, the communication was just not there as far as not between parties involved, but the ability to communicate.
Right.
So once again, it came down to all of us making sure that everybody knew what was going on in different places and the people who needed the help.
And I'm sure that you've had a lot of you've seen a lot. You may have heard a lot firsthand. Do you have any stories from your city that show the true meaning of love, survival, overcoming tragedy during this flooding? Have you saw personally or heard anything like that you would share with us?
I mean, just the fact that we've had so many people open up, their houses, their lives, anything that's needed by the people of our area. It's been amazing. It's really an outpouring of love. It's an outpouring of what I like to call, East Kentucky, just us coming together as one person in one group to take care of each other. The biggest story, and I want to throw this together real quick. Our Floyd Central, it's a high school we have here in Floyd County, and our football team, instead of going to practice, they showed up. They practiced for about 5 minutes. They took off their pads. They put on their boots, and they went to Wayland, which is one of the biggest affected cities in Floyd County. And man, they went to work. And you're talking about kids, you're talking about teenagers that are out there trying to make a difference. And that's just one story. I mean, from tons of stories that we have. So I just want to thank, I'm getting a little, I don't want to say I'm getting a little emotional, but it's just the fact that we have such great citizens, such great kids, such great people in our area that would come together and do whatever they can to help each other. That to me epitomizes Eastern Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. And as you said, and I could tell that you were getting emotional before you started getting emotional. And I'll be the first one to tell you, these last 6 weeks, I have cried more these last 6 weeks than I have my entire life. And you mentioned the local city of Wayland. I have a connection to the city of Wayland. Yeah. My wife has a clinic there. That and Wayland is smaller than the city Bobby's in. But the devastation, I was there yesterday helping, doing what I could. The devastation to that little town is heartbreaking. And it is, absolutely. I saw before pictures, I was there after, and it looks like a war zone. I mean, it really does. What made me feel good as I was going into town is there was a tent set up, and a woman and a young girl were putting together burgers. A guy was in the back of his truck grilling the burgers and handing them off to him. That touches you, and it makes you realize how blessed you are to live in the area that we live in. Oh, listen, I can tell you, like, just from people I know, kids throwing together lemonade, hot dogs. I've seen older people go out with crock pots, and just offering to help feed anybody and everybody they can. No one ever wants the times that we've experienced to happen, but my God, do they remind you of how great everything is? You know what I'm saying? Yes. It's great. Yes, it is. And, I just want to throw this out there too. So here, nobody's got communication skills, and here we are trying to get a hold of our boys, Justin and Bolin, and, trying to make sure and so what do? Once we got communication back, we all start reaching out together, and you're talking about Pike County, Knott County, Floyd County, Letcher County, and just the community we've built is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, lots of places in America doesn't have what we have. We have community, like real community. Yeah, and I mentioned earlier in the show, usually I'm not a fan of Facebook because they censor so much stuff. But during this occasion, during the flooding, I'm from Eastern Kentucky and I'm proud of it. If you were lucky enough to have cell phone service, and a lot of people did, they were making requests to get boats at certain locations. They were asking, did you see so-and-so? If so, is he okay? And that really helped and inspired me. And it inspired me to reach out to others that I'd never thought about reaching out for. And I saw companies that said, we have backhoes, we have bobcats, we have da-da-da. All you have to do is come and get it. We can't leave, but it's yours if you need it. And how many places, I saw that. I'm getting ready to say something. I don't want this to be controversial, but there's a 9/11 documentary called The Day That, the 120 minutes. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's been a long time since I watched it. And they're talking about how the destruction in right around the towers is they need equipment. They've got to move stuff. And the cops, they go and they find all this equipment behind a chain link fence. And they're like, we need to get a hold of somebody. We need to get a hold of somebody. And one of the police steps up with wire cutters and says, no, we don't. And he gets it and he goes. Here, and like I said, these two events are very far apart. Don't think I'm trying to say one's more important than the other or whatever. But here, instead of having to go and search it out, we had people saying, take it, do what you can, please, help as many people as you can. And that, to me, it just shows you where we live. We live in a great place.
Definitely. And I will give you an example also of what you're talking about where they just say, take it. Several years ago, we had an ice storm come through our area. I think it might have been 2009 or 10. And I worked for the city of Hyman as a police officer. And there is a store there called Mighty Mart. And we knew these people really well. All the power was out. They had 2 propane cages they gave us the key for. And they told us if anybody needed propane to give it to them and take their name. No questions asked, And we gave out a lot of propane. And every person that got propane came back when everything was back to normal, and they paid for that propane. And they thanked us. And, they had stuff. Also, they had people in the store working, giving out milk and sandwich meat that was going to ruin, that they were going to throw away. And they were giving this stuff out. And that helped a lot of local people fed, and it helped them stay warm. You don't find that in big cities. You really don't. Who is going to come to a store and get all that stuff for free? Who is going to go get a piece of equipment that somebody's like, here you go. You know how to drive it? Good. Take it, use it.
It's just amazing. And I pulled up my phone and still, like, we're on day what? 4? 25 confirmed dead.
Yeah.
Multiple missing still. And we still have people that are like, hey, this morning, if you need a hot dog, come here. If you need water, we've got you covered. If you need clothes, this is where you go. It's just, and I don't see this stopping anywhere, and reaching out even to these big companies like AT&T said, don't worry about your overages. How awesome is that?
That is awesome. You have Lowe's and Hazard that brought a semi in that has several showers in it that people can use free of charge.
Yeah. And Tide, the Procter & Gamble company, bringing in their washing machine, the Tide laundry, free of charge. They provide everything. It's just like, it's insane to think. And I've been blessed. I've got to see local level, county level. I've got to see at the school level, plans being put into place, and it's great. It's great.
Well, Elliot, I want to thank you very much for coming on for this special episode. If anybody,
I appreciate it, brother, and we need to do this more often.
Oh, definitely, and we definitely will. Dirty Dan was asking about you several weeks ago. He's like, "When's the Spooky Family going to be back on?"
Hey, and listen, Dirty Dan,
soon. They're going to be back on soon.
I just want to say, like, Dirty Dan has grown into like an awesome podcaster. He was always an awesome podcaster, but he gets it. He knows how to tell a story, and he knows what to do. And the queen and her flock, listen, God bless you. Because, like, she keeps you on your toes, and that's what I like.
Yes, she does.
Like,
and
but I listen,
thank you very much for saying that.
Here to Chew Bubblegum is always going to be home. it's I love it. I promote y'all as much as I can.
And we always promote you guys as well.
Yeah. So. And I just want to thank you all for all you've done for us. If you don't mind, real quick, Pikeville Toy and Comic-Con will be there on August 20th. Come out and see us. Come out and visit us. We've got some stuff we'd like to sell you, but we just like to see everybody. You know what I'm saying? We just want to meet everybody. Gertie and Beagle. Gertie is I don't know how much I can give away of Gertie, but she's been working till 2-3 o'clock in the morning every night, and it's a bad situation.
It is.
It's and Beagle, well, who knows where Beagle's at? Beagle's probably in the hills somewhere. Who knows?
Probably.
But if anybody sees Bigfoot during this, that's probably Beagle just walking around.
Bobby, if anybody listening wants to reach out and help your city, how can they contact you? Or is there a website or anything set up to help your city specifically? If not, how can they help locally?
We don't have a website set up right now. To be honest with you, we were hit. Don't get me wrong, but there were far more worse hit places than us. You can contact me at Elliot@spookyfamilypodcast.com. But our county judge executive, Floyd County, any of our local churches, those are the people I would reach out to. I'm very particular about who I give stuff to. I want to make sure it's given out in the correct way. And like I said, we're blessed that we live in the hills where you don't see a lot of corruption as far as that goes. So any place that you see around us that's taking donations, by all means, look that up. Our school system are taking donations right now. We have 3 schools that are open with showers, clothes, charging stations if you need it. Wayland was hit hard. Hueysville was hit hard in Floyd County. Martin was hit hard. We were hit, but I don't want to say we were hit harder than those other ones. Of course, we do have families who need it, but like I said, we're talking total destruction in some of those places. And then Knott County, God bless Knott County and Perry County and Breathitt and Letcher, and it's overwhelming to look at what has happened just lately. And we haven't really got to talk since what happened at Allen. It's pray for our area. You know what I'm saying? Keep us in your thoughts, because we've lost good people. We've lost great people.
Yes, we have.
And unfortunately, we're going to lose more before this is over with. So just keep us in your thoughts. Keep us in our prayers.
Well, Elliot, thank you very much for coming on, and God bless you, my friend.
Hey, God bless you all. And Here to Chew Bubblegum listeners, if you're ever bored and you want to give us a listen, Spooky Family Podcast, we're out there. We're no Here to Chew Bubblegum, and we're no Talk Junkie, but we're still okay. You can listen to us, I promise.
Thank you very much.
Hey man, thank you all.
On Thursday, July 28th, 2022, a lot of families in southeastern Kentucky woke up to flood, devastation, and despair. Hello, everyone. I'm Goose from Here to Chew Bubblegum, and I'm proud to say that I'm from Eastern Kentucky. Our area has experienced some of the worst flooding that we have ever saw. In just 2 hours, 8 to 12 inches of rain fell, leaving many families homeless. They lost their homes, property, family heirlooms, and quite a few have lost their lives. You can help and support people in Eastern Kentucky get back on their feet. All you have to do is go to teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. Again, you can go to teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. You can make a donation. If you live locally, please get in touch with someone in your community to find out how you can help. Thank you very much. God bless. And with me now on the phone is Justin Perkins. For those of you that listen to the show, you do know Justin. Justin has the podcast Talk Junkie and Retro Cult. He's an author. He's a great friend of mine, and he's been on the show several times. What you may not know about Justin, I don't know if we've mentioned this on the show before, but Justin is also a volunteer firefighter. Justin, thank you for taking time out of your schedule. I know it's got to be busy in Knott County. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
First off, you and your family members, are they okay? Did you guys get affected?
We were real fortunate. My wife and I, where we live, no way it was going to get us. Dad lives in Perry County. He had a pretty bad slip in his front yard, but nothing, threatening him. Rachel's family, pretty good. Now, my mom and my stepdad's family, my stepdad's mom lost. I don't see how her house isn't a total loss. And then my stepdad and his brother lived next to him, they got hit pretty bad. My mom and my stepdad, their house isn't a total loss at all. The foundation needs some work in the block under it, and their floors are gone. But, it definitely can be built back. It didn't get swept away like some of the other homes.
Now, you sent me some pictures the other day because you have spent did you say in the message that you'd spent like 3 days, more or less, wading in water?
Yeah, but not here.
Right. Okay.
Not in Eastern Kentucky. That's I've not been able to help here and do hardly anything. I work on the road constantly, and I belong to Cars Fork Fire Department, and mainly just because the chief down there, Bobby Thomas, is probably a man I respect more than anybody I've ever known, and that's what got me to join. And I'm never there. I never get to help them. I never get to be around because I'm always on out of town working and stuff. And our job has been soaking wet up there, up north, actually right in Gilbert, West Virginia, in and around there. My boots got wet. They stayed wet. My feet were eat up. And Tuesday, we got flooded in and couldn't get out. I was there for like 8 hours, and I was like, well, this sucks. And they were like, well, we're going to go home because it's going to keep raining up here and things are going to get bad. So late Tuesday, I come in. I get to the house Tuesday night, go to bed. And again, I live up on a hill. I don't really do social media, so I don't have local TV. I don't listen to radio. I'm not in a good way, apparently, because I've learned I'm pretty secluded in that and didn't really realize that. And before I knew it, I woke up to flooded and Knott County. But I never imagined, I just thought water's up, and that's it. And I actually was going to try to get out and go to work Wednesday and drive the 3 hours or something up and check on my job. And then when I got out and seen Knott County, I realized that I got on social media at that point, and I was messaging people at that point because I was fortunate. I had AT&T, and we actually had service down here.
Right. I know that Thursday morning, was it around 5 a.m., me and you and Bolin were messaging, and I was sending you pictures that I'd pulled off Facebook and so forth. I think it was around that time. It may have been a little bit later or earlier.
Yeah. I say I've got days mixed up. Maybe it is Thursday that I got. So I don't even know what day I got back from West Virginia. I don't know what day it is right now. To be completely honest, I assume because you're calling me it's Sunday.
Yes, it is. Have you ever saw any flooding like this before in Knott County or our region?
Oh God, no. I've seen stuff like this on TV, but I've never seen anything like this in real life. Like it takes your breath. Like it's heartbreaking, and it seems like the further I go, like the further you go each way, the worse it gets. The only thing I've not really seen yet is beaver, and that's because it was mainly, I guess, impossible to get to there for quite a while, and I've heard it's bad. I had an uncle that lives over there, and he lost a horse over there. He actually got it out of the barn, and it broke to run back and got swept down, and they'd had that horse for 20 years. I've not seen my aunt yet, but Dad said she was just devastated. I know it's an animal, but to people that have horses and dogs and cats, that's like a family member. But then the human toll, the human loss in Knott County is extreme as well. Not just the property damage, but I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, and I've never saw anything like this. And you mentioned, horses and animals and so forth. I think it was Thursday morning that I saw a video of a guy posted. I'm not going to say his name, from Hazard, and he had a video of a dog, and the dog drowned, and he tried his best to get to the dog, but he wasn't able to. We had here in Pike County, we had people doing a cleanup and recovery work, and they found a dead zebra. And this was owned by a family in Pike County that had a few zebras. And I think that they had like a petting zoo, maybe not necessarily a petting zoo, but they had exotic animals. And from what I've heard, and I've not researched this, that they were very loving with these animals, and they would let kids come in and pet the animals, feed the animals, and they specifically were geared towards, like special needs kids, to see these exotic animals. And it's very sad, when you see a picture, of a dead animal. And we had a guy, I'm not going to say his name, he made an inappropriate joke about the dead zebra. And there's been some inappropriate comments made on Facebook, and there's been some looting. I've not mentioned this in the show yet, but there has been people looting and so forth. What's your thoughts on people taking advantage of other people in times like this?
I mean, it's happening a lot. There's a family that lives here in Knott County. They lost a house to a fire a while back. Then they moved down towards Emelina, and their house got flooded out. And then somebody was trying to steal the rims off of their vehicle night before last. I mean, there's a van pulled up down there where my stepdad's mom lived, getting out, going through stuff, taking stuff, and somebody had to come down and run them off. I mean, you're always going to have just that vile aspect of people that crap into people. That's the Facebook side of people. You're always going to have that, these people making these comments and saying these things, and these people out doing that stuff. But I look at what I've seen. Like I said, I've been up at the firehouse yesterday giving out water. I took some stuff and dropped some stuff off. I want to say before we get off here, Car Creek Elementary over here, they're giving out food, water, food and clothing. And they need food and clothing. So Becky Pigman's the one taking care of that. They need it so they can give it out. So, if anybody over this way can get stuff there, that's kind of the part of Knott County that's doing that. The Sportsplex is taking water and stuff like that, getting it in and getting it out. And then the fire departments, I know I seen the Hyman Fire Department had stuff out. We were giving stuff out yesterday. The governor, regardless of how anybody feels politically, reacted really quickly and got stuff this way. The president signed off on relief really quickly. And our county judge, I've been out, on and off. I don't know anybody that's not seen him somewhere doing something. Jeff's been out doing something the entire time. Every time I go by somewhere, I see Jeff. And, I wish I could do more. I helped my mom and them get the wet carpet out of their house the other day. My stepdad and them done 90% of it. Once they seen my feet, they would let me do anything after that. So all the bad stuff that you do see people do, it's blew my mind what I've seen people do here in Knott County. And a lot of eyes are on Knott County. There's a guy named Zach over here. I don't, know how public Zach is, but I don't know him super well. I've met him once. I know he's a cameraman for a couple of shows like Mike Rowe. And I know Mike Rowe mentioned this area and mentioned what happened the other day because Zach had sent him an email. So there's a lot of eyes on us and a lot of good things happening. And there's a lot of shit people. There's always going to be shit people. Unfortunately, the shitty ones didn't drown. We probably lost a lot of good ones instead. But that's going to be life. But the good is far outweighing the bad. And I'm proud to be from here, and I'm proud of the people I see around here.
And I mean, you couldn't have said it better. The other two guests, Bobby and Nick, that we had on a little bit earlier, we talked about all the good people that are out there that step up in places like this. You've got elementary schools all over the region feeding people. You've got, they're letting them use their showers, letting them use their schools as shelters. The good outweighs the bad. And have you saw, and I've asked everybody that's been on the show today this, have you saw personally or heard from a fellow firefighter any stories that truly defined love and compassion and the human spirit by somebody just off the street helping somebody in a special way? Have you saw that or heard from your fellow firefighters any stories like that you can share with us?
Well, I really not talked to almost anybody at our firehouse because most of those people were affected for, actually themselves. And unfortunately, I've talked to two of them, including our chief, and they couldn't get anywhere. They couldn't get out to people. They couldn't hardly do anything. Like I said, we've been handing out water and stuff, but I've not talked to this person personally. I know him personally. He's the one who does the T-shirts for my band, and I'm always mentioning his company, Kickin' Chicken, on the show and stuff. And I hope after this is over, people give him some business and go to him and stuff. Luke Pridemore came up on somebody stranded in water in a vehicle here in Hyman, right in front of the mall, that couldn't get out. Luke went in after him. Luke got him out. And, I don't know. I seen the vehicles. I seen the aftermath. I wasn't there at the time, but those people wouldn't have made it. I don't believe if they had, they may have made it, but it would not have been a comfortable ride if they'd have been there the whole time. So if it not been for Luke, I don't know if they'd have got out. And I've not got to talk to him. I've not got to talk to a lot of people. That was the thing. That was the scary part is once all this hit, power was gone, water was gone, internet was gone, landline was gone, cell signal was gone. I had it because I had AT&T, but there was somebody that actually got on there and said that the people that died are dead because Appalachian Wireless didn't have good enough cell phone service. I don't have Appalachian Wireless, but that's a ridiculous statement. And there's people that said 911 didn't do their job and, fire department didn't do their job. My fire chief was on the phone with somebody who was stuck in a tree for a long time. And I talked to the guy, I talked to him yesterday, and he said, look, they couldn't get to me. He said, but that meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me to have somebody to talk to. And, they live right down below where I live. And there's two guys that live there in that house, and I grew up with one of them and, know him fairly well. He's a little bit younger than me and worked with the other one at a previous job. And that their house got overrun. They had no choice but swim for it. And when they went to get out, it just sucked them. It just took them. One of them made it to a church and got on the roof of a church. And the other one made it to a tree. And they hung in there. They made it through. And that's the phenomenal part that people just don't. There's no quit in people in the mountains, and I know I've never seen damage like this in my life, but if any area and any region can take it, this area can. I know people saying we're poor and we're a red state and we deserve what we got, and even though we have a Democrat governor, somehow, because of the way we vote, we deserve this, and we're awful people, and we're horrible, and we're poor, and we deserve to be poor. There is a lot of poverty in Eastern Kentucky, and that's created a lot of strong people, and that's exactly why Eastern Kentucky will make it through this. In my lifetime, no, I've never seen anything like this, and I've been really fortunate. I've been fortunate through this. I've been fortunate in my life that I've had things and I've had opportunities and I've had the ability to do stuff. But my grandparents and my great-grandparents and your grandparents and, my parents at times and probably your parents, all of our family at times have seen real hard time and seen times when there wasn't food and there wasn't, there wasn't opportunity and there wasn't a way to easily feed your family. So it's not new to us. And they can keep whatever shitty attitude they have about us to themselves, and they can keep whatever little bit of sympathy they may have for us, because I don't need it, and all these people down here don't. And you know, like I said, I've never seen this kind of destruction, but if any place can pull away from it and be better for it in the end, it will be Eastern Kentucky.
And I totally support that statement and agree with it 110%. And I have saw some of those negative posts on Facebook. And normally, you know, I use Facebook. I don't like how the last couple of years they have restricted what people have said and stuff. I said this earlier in the show. Facebook really helped out a lot in this area for people that did have AT&T cell phone service, because they were able to make requests for boats or ask about loved ones that were missing if anybody saw them. And, you know, my hat's off for Facebook, that Facebook platform, that it did benefit in a tragic situation. You also touched on a local company there, and, you know, it is ridiculous for somebody to say that company cost lives, because they did not. Their entire fleet of service vehicles got flooded. You know, you can't respond and fix stuff if you don't have the trucks or equipment to get there and fix it. And people have to understand that. But that goes back to the way that, you know, I guess kind of the world kind of is today, that, you know, they don't think about that. They just say what's ever on their mind, but if you say something back to them, they get their feelings hurt. I'm tired of that. This is a time for people in southeastern Kentucky to come together, and we have thousands of people that have come together without asking, taking stuff upon themselves to help out in this situation, not just in Knott County, but Perry County, Breathitt County, Letcher County, Floyd County, Pike County. And I think that's something to be proud of. I'm proud to say that I'm from Knott County. What's your thoughts on that, Justin?
Oh, 110%. And, you know, that's the thing, is it's so widespread. Like Breathitt County, I have a really good friend in Breathitt County. She was separated from her husband and son, you know, and she just got back yesterday, and I have no idea how bad they got it. I have no idea how bad Pike County, because, like, it's so widespread and it's so bad. But, you know, I've seen trucks. I don't know how many water rescue units I've seen from other counties in Kentucky. Actually, I've seen one from a fire department I had actually never heard of. I can't recall the name of it, but I had never even seen that. You know, nobody hesitated. Everybody was in here, and the company that my father-in-law works for has got some small equipment and stuff. You know, they're up on Pine Top cleaning stuff out. I don't even know who the dude was. I was building a little rinky-dink bridge for my mother-in-law and them today, and I don't even know who the dude with the backhoe was that come up and brought me dirt and dumped it in front of there. Where the old Pine Top Motors is, up on Pine Top, they're giving out free water and stuff. And, you know, I have no idea. I seen the people from Quick Clean at another local company that Carl David Hall runs. I seen them up there handing out water. You know, like I said, the fire departments have got stuff. And it every time I turn around and look, there's somebody going to do something, you know, and it's overwhelming. The Sportsplex is worth its weight in gold right now. The amount of stuff they've got up there. I've not even made it to that end of the county. You know, the one thing I noticed is they were looking for people to get into Beaver. So that, because, you know, Floyd County really gets hit hard most of the time. And that worried me about that area over there. But I've seen vehicles coming in nonstop, you know, and a vehicle just pulled out where I'm sitting right now. They're on a Virginia license plate. You know, I don't, it's not just Eastern Kentucky. It's all of Kentucky, and people surrounding us coming in and trying to help. And I'm proud to be from here, and I'm proud of everybody in Kentucky.
I'm going to try to come over today and, you know, see if I can help out anywhere. And, you know, you said a little bit earlier when we first started the interview that you really hadn't done anything, and you're being modest. I'm not going to say anything, but Justin has done stuff. If people are listening to this across the country, and specifically our international audience, and they want to help, how would you recommend they go about doing that?
I don't do good with the donation stuff because I know there's a lot of those that you can trust, you can't trust. I'm not really sure. So my advice would be to get online with the state of Kentucky, and they are going to have reliable, legitimate links that can be donated to. Now, if you're local, it's a lot easier. If you're local, send stuff, to Sportsplex over here in Hyman, Car Creek Elementary over here. Send me a message. I'm trying to stay on Messenger right now, even though I usually don't. Send me a message. I'll try to find something, and you can help. Like I said, I'm useless right now. My feet are useless, but I loaded up the Jeep yesterday with water and just went out and tried to find people that needed water, people that couldn't get out and stuff like that. We went through what stuff we had clothes-wise that we weren't using and took it down. I took wood for people to try to get little makeshift bridges to get in and out, like little stuff like that. I'm not out in the water. I'm not looking for bodies. I'm not, I'm not doing all the stuff that you think of when you think of that because I'm just not able. And to be honest with you, I'm not trained as well, and I'm not here. We have some really highly trained, good people in Eastern Kentucky already, and they sent some in, and it's best to let them do that stuff. Don't go out and get in the water and this and that. Call somebody, get somebody in there that knows what they're doing. But there's a lot of things people can do to help, and the small stuff, that little bit, just somebody stopping and going, hey, do you need anything? That means a lot sometimes to people.
And he also had his wife's car filled up with water as well. So,
at her grandeur, he squatted to the ground with water and gas yesterday. That wasn't popular.
But Justin, I know that you're busy. I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your day to let us give you a call and just talk about this devastating flood in our hometown, home county. Please be safe. If you need anything, let me know. God bless you, my friend. And is there anything that you want to say in closing?
Just like I said, keep these people in your thoughts, and if you can send anything down here. But appreciate the people you have. It's easy. I see my family every day, and you appreciate them and stuff, but you, Bolin, Bobby, Elliot.
Well, no, actually, when you listen back to the show today, I actually told people his real name, so.
Well, your cover's blown, Elliot, but Elliot and Gertie both Elliot, as soon as something happened, before I even really knew, because I didn't have service and I'm, just in from on the road, not paying attention, instantly, you and him and Bolin contacted me, and like, if I ever go missing, I know for sure the three of you will try to find me. And that means a lot. Like it does. It doesn't matter how bad a day I've had or what's going on. You three always reach out, and that's worth more than people realize that, because there's probably people out there that don't have friends like that. And if you don't have friends like mine, go find you some. You're not going to find friends better than mine. That's just not going to happen. But, I'm very fortunate in that, and I want you guys to know how much I really appreciate you guys. And it means a lot to me to have you guys.
Well, thank you very much. That definitely means a lot to me. Again, you stay safe, and God bless you. And if you need anything, or if you know somebody that needs anything and you're not able to help them, please get in touch with me. If I can't help them personally, I will find somebody to help them.
Well, thank you very much, and I will definitely do that.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Again, that was Justin Perkins, great friend of mine, host of Retro Cult and Talk Junkie. It's always good to talk to Justin and Elliot, and great interview with Nick Fleming. Thank you, Nick, for coming on. Elliot, thank you. Justin, thank you. Rebecca and Dirty Dan, thank you guys very much for always being here for me. I can't tell you how much that means to me. I love you guys like family. Thank you. Before we go, Justin mentioned and then he's interviewed grandparents. And I talked to my grandfather yesterday. He did not have power. He is stubborn. He would not let me get him a generator. And I was thinking, as Justin was talking about grandparents, I think I'm going to try to call my grandpa and see if his electricity's came back on, just to check on him. And I probably won't tell him he's on the show. I don't know. I may.
We're sorry. The mobile number you have dialed is not active at the...
Okay, so let's try his home number. Maybe his landline came back up. My grandpa's name is Arthur. He is stubborn. He is 89 years young. Looks like his landline's actually ringing. The other day it wasn't ringing. It was just a really fast, busy signal. But yeah, he does not have a generator, and he would not let me go get him one. He said that I could get him a...
number you have dialed.
All right, so communication, hopefully it will get back up. And I'm going to be honest with everyone. I really didn't know if I was going to do a show this Sunday. A good friend of mine, Mr. Bolin Cox, persuaded me that it is what was needed and that I should do a show. And he said some more stuff, and I'm not going to really get into all the other stuff that he said, but it really meant a lot to me. And Bolin, thank you very much for being there for me as well. It's hard. It is really hard to watch your friends and neighbors, the hometown that you came from, just completely washed away, just devastated. Before we go, again, if anybody does want to help, you can go to the website, teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. Again, teamekyfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. I want to thank everyone for listening. This was a different kind of show. And just, keep this region in your thoughts, in your prayers. Send us love, peace, positive energy, because we definitely need it. And taking us out this week is one half of Sunday Best, Mr. Nicholas Jameson, and his original song, Hyman. Have a good week, everyone. Thank you for listening.
I'm headed to Hyman for a night on the town, to see my sweet Anna, and I ain't slowing down. I was thirsting for something I just couldn't find, from life after war and life after wine. Yeah, I'd give up smoking and my dirty mouth if I could just hold your hand. I could just take you out. Thank God